What's cracking, everyone? My name is Ryan, and today we're going to be taking a look at a budget-focused IEM from Hidizs Audio, and that is the MS1-Galaxy. Now, this is going to be released in just a couple of days at just $15.99 without a mic, or $16.99 if you choose to go with the mic, or if you're one of the first 200 ones that will purchase this from their site, there is a coupon code that I will link down below that will get this for you for under 10 bucks. Now, before I get into this video, I do want to send a big thank you out to Hidizs Audio, who sent this in exchange for my review. As always, all thoughts and opinions are of my own. All right, really quick here, guys. If you like videos like this, please take a minute to smash that like button for me, because the more you do that, the more these videos will get out with the YouTube algorithms and be seen, and that helps me continue to grow this channel. Also, if you have not done so already, please subscribe to the channel because I have more content coming out, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Now, back to the video. All right, so the MS1-Galaxy consists of a 10.2 millimeter dual magnetic circuit single cavity structure composite polymer diaphragm dynamic driver. That is a mouthful. Now, the shell is a molded resin cavity, and you can get this in 4 different colorways: red, such as this one here, blue, black, or there is actually a clear version, transparent, I think is what they call that as well. Now, the driver is 32 ohms of impedance and is 108 dB per milliwatt of sensitivity, so it is going to be extremely easy to drive. Now, inside the box, you're going to get the IEMs, of course. You're also going to get a set of 3 sizes of a clear silicone tip, small, medium, and large, pretty basic there. The cable is a 2-strand high-purity silver-plated copper wire cable. Now, don't expect anything over the top with the cable. It's serviceable, does a job. It's awfully thin, but again, it's fine, especially given the price of the cable. And then you're also going to get an instruction booklet, a serial card, and a waifu card. Now, personally, I'm not into waifu, but for those of you that are into that sort of thing, you do get that in the box, something a little extra to note. And also it's on the actual box on the outside, noting that as well. Now, as far as the build and comfort, I mean, it's what to be expected for this price. The build isn't over the top. It's that clear resin shell. It's serviceable. It weighs only 10 grams. Comfort-wise, I got to say, it fit my ears just fine once I found the right size tips that it came with, and I had no issue at all with comfort wearing them. So, yeah, good on the build and comfort, especially for the price. All right, so moving into sound, I want to give you a high-level overview first and just tell you that this is tuned, or supposed to be tuned, to the 2019 Harman target curve. Now, I say supposed to be because there's definitely some deviations there. This has got a ton of bass energy, and it does interrupt the mid-range for sure. And so a track example to kind of show that off is the track called Boom by Tiesto, 7, and Gucci Mane. Now, this is an EDM electronic track, and I feel like this genre of music pairs up really well with this IEM because it delivers the boom. I mean, there's no doubt. And there's not a lot of other instruments and things going on in this track, so this is a fun one to listen to on this IEM just for that bass. But I will tell you that if you're looking for audiophile grade, high fidelity sound, this just scratches the surface, but it doesn't get there for me. And what I mean by that is, like, when I listen to a lot of natural instruments, bass guitars, bass drums and things, they just don't hit quite right on this. There's sometimes that bass gets bloated even and gets a little bit out of control depending on the track. And I found that a lot more with natural instruments more than I did when I was listening to, digitized music and that kind of thing. Now, furthermore, to go into the mid-range of this, I do want to give you another track example so I can really explain what's going on in the mid-range, and that is Children of the Sky, which is actually a Starfield song. Love Starfield. And it is sang by or performed by Imagine Dragons. Now, this one shows off the fact that mid-range is very veiled here. When he's singing this, there's not a lot of resolution to, the voices behind Imagine Dragons, and it's something I'm not used to hearing, so it was a little underwhelming hearing that track on this IEM. But I will tell you that I do think this would work well for listening to movies and watching movies, because I also listened to the Pirates of the Caribbean Orchestra by Hans Zimmer and company, and that particular track just had a lot of fun energy going on. And even though it is, yes, natural instruments with orchestra, I didn't feel very serious listening to it. I was getting just that energy of it and feeling like I was watching along in the movie. You hear some string instruments coming through, so treble's, decent here. But again, just never got really serious in that I can imagine just playing some video games, again, not competitive, or listening to watching movies. Well, you listen to them, but you should watch them too. And explosions and things like that, that would be fun. And, it's got not a lot of shoutiness or anything going on. So, spoken parts and things aren't going to be crazy in that. So, yeah. Now, treble-wise, to kind of cover that a little bit, again, I would tell you that it's got some decent sparkle and brilliance in the treble. Definitely not piercing. It's definitely smoothened out, but it's enough that it kind of balances out the bass and balances out the fact that that mid-range is veiled and that bass bleeds into the mid-range, that at least you do get some decent treble going on here. Now, I will tell you, detail-wise and instrument separation, no. I mean, for this price of an IEM, it's just not there. And also, imaging was interesting. Now, to give you a really good example of imaging here, there's a track by Avenged Sevenfold called Hail to the King that I love listening to. And at the beginning, there's a guitar that should be very much in this range of your ear. And on this IEM, I heard it here. And just to make sure my hearing's not going bad, I tried it again on different ones. And yeah, so I mean, it doesn't do a great job of imaging left to right. It's got more of a central imaging, if that makes sense. But it does a good enough job that, like I said, if you wanted to play games and that and not get too serious, it would be fine. And also space, this was very much kind of a bubble type experience. It was a little bit more intimate on space. Again, because it doesn't resolve really well, it wasn't really big. So one last thing I want to say is this IEM is going to come in at $15.99 or $16.99. The Salnotes Zero is $22, and you can actually get it for around $20. This is going to make this tough competition because the Salnotes Zero resolves a lot better. It's much more balanced in the sound. It's got excellent mid-range. It is a little bit spicy in the treble at times for me, but that's going to make this one really tough to compete with. What I will tell you is that if you're just looking for something fun that you don't want to get too serious about, you like listening to a lot of EDM, maybe hip-hop tracks, movies, games, things like that, this one's going to be fine. Buy it. If you're really into waifu, buy it for that reason. It's not expensive for that. And yeah, I mean, you could just have some fun with this IEM and have some fun with the hobby. Just don't be too serious about it, or be as serious as you want. I don't know. Whatever you want to do. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If so, please smash that like button. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel because, well, I got more things coming up right around the corner. I thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.